Okay, good evening all.
Good
Right,
evening.
we were discussing about our lesson programming last day. So this is one of the most interesting lessons in grade 9 lesson series. Why? Because in grade 9, so we are basically, this is the third year that we are learning about the programming. I hope that you can remember we have started learning about programming in grade 6, right? In grade 6, we have started learning about the programming. In grade 6, what we have learned? We just learned the basic control structures concept and the flow charts. Under that concept, you have learned about sequence. Actually, after that, in grade 7, we have learned selection and then repetition. Sequence is where instructions are executed one after another, one by one by one. Why I'm repeating this for the students who missed the lesson. Also, some students who have participated the lesson cannot remember the content sometimes. This is for them as well. Okay, anyway, so what are the three concepts? Tell it again. What are the three concepts of programming according?
Sequence, selection, repetition.
Yes, three control structures of programming are sequence, selection, repetition. In sequence, what will happen?
If instructions are executed by one after other.
Okay, so instructions are executed one after another in a sequential order, chronological order, one after another. One instruction, next instruction, next instruction, next instruction. That is sequence. Selection. In selection,
Selection decides which steps are carried out, whether the condition is satisfied or not.
yes, very good. Very good. Right? If condition is satisfied, one flow is selected. If condition is not satisfied, another flow is selected. Basically, the instruction flow. Instruction flow is selected based on a condition. යම් තීරණයක් මත තමයි අපි instruction කොයි පැත්තටද යන්නේ කියලා. Either to turn right or left. Then this is like we are at a junction. We are to decide whether to turn right or left based on a certain condition. So we can only turn right or left in a given time. We cannot turn both directions. නේද? දෙපැත්තටම හැරෙන්න බෑ. අපි junction එකේ ඉන්නවනම් යම් තීරණයක් මත අපිට එක්කෝ හැරෙන්න පුළුවන් දකුණට එක්කෝ වමට. හරි? ඒ වගේ options කීපයක් තියෙනවා. ඒ option වලින් අපිට එකයි තෝරගන්න පුළුවන්. We are given a chance to select one out of many. At least there are two. So one out of many, we have to select one flow out of many alternatives. So that is where the selection is. Repetition. Repetition. Punarkarne. Nata repetition kya mokadda? Yes. Like you did explain the sequence selection. Can you explain the repetition? Repetition, yes. Quickly.
Repeating the same
Repetition is repeating the same thing again and again in a
Yes,
sequence.
very simple. Very good. Yes, repeating the same instruction set again and again. That means same instruction flow is followed again and again until a certain condition is met. So if a condition is satisfied, you can circulate or do the same thing. Or if condition is not satisfied, you can circulate as well. In either way, you are following the same instruction set again and again. We call that repetition. Those are the three control structures mainly we are following in programming. හරි ඔය තුනට ගෙන තමයි අපි මෙච්චර කාල කතා කරේ නේද sequence selection repetition ඔය විදිහට. And another thing here what we are going to do is we are going to like remember what is this programming, what is coding. Actually in the first generation programming language, coding was very difficult. This was done by mathematicians, mathematicians and engineers or scientists. Mainly ඒ වගේ කට්ටිය තමයි මුලින්ම programming කරේ. either can be a mathematician or scientist or researcher. ටිකක් ගොඩක් ඉගෙනගෙන ටිකක් වයසට ගිහිල්ලා එහෙම කට්ටිය තමයි මුලින් ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑමින් කරන්නේ. පොඩි ළමයි එහෙම ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑමින් ලිව්වේ නැහැ. එක්ක ඉංජිනේර් කෙනෙක් නැත්නම් මැථමැටිෂියන් කෙනෙක් ඒ වගේ ටිකක් ගණිතඥයෙක් විද්‍යාඥයෙක් ඉංජිනේරුවෙක් ඒ වගේ අය තමයි මුලින්ම ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑමින් ලිව්වේ. Right? That was the era, the first generation, and the programming was written by machine language. යන්ත්‍ර භාෂාවෙන් තමයි ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑමින් ලියලා තියෙන්නේ. This 1 represent on, 0 represent 0. Off, 0 represent off. 1 represent on, 0 represent off. එතන 1 0 වලින් on off. හරි ලේසි. බල්බ් එකකට 1 0 ගියොත් එකෙන් කියන්නේ on වෙලා off වෙනවා. 1 0 0 ගියොත් තියෙන්නේ on වෙලා off වෙනවා. 1 0 0 1 on වෙලා off වෙලා on වෙනවා. ඒ වගේ it's very easy. No need to translate. වෙනම පරිවර්තකයක් ඕන නැහැ. සිග්නල් එක යනකොටම දැන් high voltage low voltage විදිහට යන්නේ ඔය 1 0 විදිහට නෙවෙයිනේ. ඒ විදිහට යනකොටම එතන තියෙන කම්පියුටර් එක දාන්නවා නැත්නම් වයර්ස් ටික දාන්නවා ඉලෙක්ට්‍රොනික සර්කිට් එක දාන්නවා මොනවද මේ එන්නේ කියලා. that was called machine language. යන්ත්‍ර භාෂාව කිව්වේ ඒකයි. හරි ලේසි පරිවර්තකයක් ඕන නැහැ. Then in the second generation with the help of translator මේ note එක වලට මේ පාර ගන්න පුළුවන්. We have to contact Gavesha or Ms. Lakmali. She will issue the note. Right? Please contact them. One of them will issue the note. Okay, anyway, assembly language. Assembly language is an intermediate language. Ataramadi bhasha. Actually, it is like machine language. You need some hardware knowledge. Hardware knowledge එක පුතෝන machine language එක වගේම තමයි. හැබැයි අර එක බිඳුව විදිහට දිගට ලින්ක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So it was a short code. අර machine language එකටම කෙටි භාෂාවක්. නිකම් bit එකක් අරගෙන ඒ ටික වෙනකොට දැන් අපි හිතමු 1001 කියලා ඒක අපිට add විදිහට. ඒක උදාහරණයක් විතරයි. 1001 is similar to add. Then 1010 is similar to 10th register. Something like that. Right? Something like that. And this was executed in such a way by summarizing the binary digit. Right. Then the third one is high level languages. Sorry for the delay. I got a call. Sorry. Okay. The third one is high level languages. These high level languages are much easy to understand by human beings, but it is difficult for the machines because machines cannot read this code. Machine can only understand machine code. That machines can understand machine codes means this binaries only. Today also, in the today's world also, machines can understand these binaries only. But there are high-level languages. Actually, in the middle, there are translators who can translate this to the machine code. High-level language, very easy to understand. This is Python. You don't know about Python, but you can easily understand that. For an example, print 5 and 5 plus 6. It will give 11. Anyone can tell that. Even a baby. Not baby, actually, but even a grade 5 student can tell. Print 5 and 6 will print 11. So even kids can understand what's going on. These high-level languages are very user-friendly, human-friendly. Nowadays, programming is not just done by these engineers and mathematicians and scientists. දැන් ගණිතඥයෝ විද්‍යාඥයෝ ඒගොල්ලෝ ඕනේ නැහැනේ programming ලියන්න. Even students, right? Kids can write programming small codes because there are block-based language. එක ඒවා තියෙනවා. There are some high-level languages, block-based languages, artificial intelligent languages, right? Even you can see even this now it is even language independent. English waliන් වත් දෙන්න ඕනේ. You can even say akkanangi thing also that will work. That is just the logic. That is artificial intelligence. Right? In AI, it is artificial intelligence. Fourth generation තවත් අර නිකන් වාක්‍ය වගේ බලන්න insert into my table first name last name values Dasun Nilanjana. මේකේ කියන්නේ table එකට දාන්න first name එකයි last name එකයි දසුනුයි නිලංජනයි කියලා. ඒක ඕන කෙනෙකුට නිකන් කියවලා තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන් වගේ. Artificial intelligence කියන්නේ logic language. Language එකක්වත් නැහැ. භාෂාවක්වත් නැහැ. Okay. So this note you will get, right? Don't worry. Okay, so we have like the first one that we saw is sequence. Sequence, you can see instructions are executed one after another in an order. We have discussed this, right? How to find total average, how to get the first name, middle and last name and generate the full name. This is easy. So then I will give small exercise. Okay, this is a homework, but let's do it now because we have spent a few weeks now. Now you can do this. So here, sprite is, sprite is a character, any character that we are going to code. And you know about the x-axis and y-axis very well. So let's do a small thing. So here, you have to import two sprites. The two sprites are Ben and Balloon. Two sprites are Ben and Balloon. What you are going to do here using this Ben and Balloon, Ben is basically a sprite. What you need to help assist Ben. Actually, this is, I'll show you the Ben and Balloon. Right? I will show you the Ben and Balloon. Here it is. First, let me show you the like what is happening there. Right? So when I click this, the Ben and Balloon moves to a random position. When I click this, the Ben and Balloon moves to a random position. You can see this. When I press the space key, right? When I press the space key, Ben will take the balloon and come to his original position. Now you can see Ben and Balloon are in two positions. When I press the space key, Ben will take the balloon and come to the original position. Can you code this? Make a sequence විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. තැන් දෙකකට යනවා ස්පේස් එක ගැහුවම බැලුන් එක අරගෙන Ben හිටපු තැනටම හරියටම එනවා. හරි මේ ස්පේස් එක ගැහුවම බැලුන් එක අරගෙන Ben හිටපු තැනටම යනවා. ඕක කරන්න Ben ට උදව් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? Can you assist Ben by writing the code? Two sprites, Ben and Balloon. Which link? I saw that you are asking for a link. Which link you mean? Stretch. Stretch you can search. Now you know what is stretch, right? No need to send the link, you know. You can just search it. Just search stretch. You are in grade 9. Then which AI link you mean? You are asking about today's one or some other? Last week one. Last week one you have to ask last week. I will send it, I think. Then you now do this. I will give you only 3 minutes. Okay. Any play and show? Right. How කවුද ඉන්නේ? Anyone else? Anyone else? How කවුද ඉන්නේ? No one. Only Teniya. Sure. තේනියගෙත් මම කියපු එක ප්‍රවිච් එකක් නෑ තේනිය බලන්න. So it is okay, but the thing is, see how he is bringing this from the මේ thread එකෙන් තමයි අල්ලගෙන එන්නේ බලන්න. It's catching from the thread. ඒක තමයි නැත්තේ. Right? It's catching it from the thread. නූලෙන් තමයි ආදගෙන එන්නේ බැලුන් එක. When I press the space, ඒ පාර්ට් එක තමයි නැත්තේ. Okay, Rehansa, yes, you can share. Rehansa, you can share. Rehansa get එහෙමද? thread එකෙන් නෙවෙයි දාලා ගන්න. ඔව් random question එකට යනවා. හරි. It's random question. මම දැන් කිව්වේ මොකද්ද? Full case එක. So it need to Ben need to catch the balloon and bring it to his original position. ඒ කැල්ල නෑ නේද? Ben need to catch the balloon and bring it to the original position where he was. Okay? Ben ඉන්න තැනට ඒක අරගෙන එන්න ඕන. ඒක තමයි සම්පූර්ණ කතාව. Okay. Then let me show this. Right, let me show this. Okay, first, anyway, when you click, Ben need to go to a random position. At the same time, balloon need to go to a random position. That I agree. Ben and balloon both. Then, I have introduced two variables, balloon X and balloon Y. So, sorry, actually, there are four variables. There are four variables. Actually, let me show that from the beginning. There are two variables you need to create. Ben X, Ben's, and Ben Y, Benny, right? Ben X, Ben Y, to track whether where is Benny. Initially, I'm setting the Ben X to the X position of Ben and Ben Y to Y position of Ben. That means when you go to a random position, that X and that Y will be captured into Ben X and Ben Y. Right? When Ben moves, you can see Ben X minus 204, Ben Y 24. Now Ben X minus 223 and Ben Y 98. Ben X 183 and Ben Y 158. Ben X 189 and Ben Y minus 3. So likewise, I'm capturing the Ben X and Ben Y, X and Y position of Ben. This is for the Ben. This is to the Ben. Okay, how can I move to, right? How can I move to the balloon? Or how can Ben move to the balloon? When you press the space bar, Ben needs to move to the balloon and bring the balloon into Ben's position. Okay? Ben needs to move. Ben යන්න ඕන balloon එක තියෙන තැනට. But you don't know the balloon's position, but still you can do something. You can glide to the balloon. Glide to the balloon. That means wherever Ben is, Ben can glide to the balloon. Ben can glide to the balloon. Right? Ben can glide to the balloon. Then what? Since Ben can glide to the balloon, then balloon need to come back to the original position of Ben, and Ben also need to come back to the original position. But you know the position, you can glide back to Ben's X and Ben's Y. Ben X and Ben Y means Ben will move and come back. Then to the balloon also I can tell, when you press the space bar, when I press the space bar, glide back to the Ben's X and Y position where Ben was. But there is a problem when I'm doing like this. Okay, go back. You can see balloon is moving. Balloon is moving to the Ben's position and Ben is moving to the balloon's position and coming back. Balloon is moving to the Ben's position and Ben is moving to the balloon's position and come. You need to delay this because the first balloon need to wait. Balloon should not be greedy. The balloon එක කෑදර වෙලා Ben ගේ පස්සෙන් දුවලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. එහෙනම් Ben එනකම් බැලුම ඉන්න ඕන. To do that, I can wait 1 second because 1 second, within 1 second, Ben will come to the balloon. Okay. Within 1 second, Ben will come to the balloon. But this is not realistic. You can see, make a realistic name. What the? You can see. එයා බැලුන් එකකින් වැහිලා එහෙම දුවන්නේ නැහැ නේද? බැලුන් එක කකුලේ බැඳගෙන දුවනවා වගේ තමයි අපිට පේන්නේ. ඒක හරියන්නේ නැහැ. බැලුන් එක අතින් අරන් එන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ බෙන් තව චුට්ටක් මෙහාට ඇවිල්ලා මෙහාට ආවනම් ඔන්න බැලුන් එක අල්ල ගන්න තිබ්බා. අපි බලමු මොකද්ද මේ අවුල කියලා. හරි දැන් xy ඔන්න පේනවා 50 50. ඒ වුණාට ඒක හරියන්නේ නැහැනේ. xy 50 50 නෙමෙයි බැලුන් එක බෙන් අල්ල ගන්නයි ඕන. එහෙනම් මෙතනින් අල්ල ගන්න නම් ඔන්න 50යි 109යි තියෙන්නේ. දැන් කොහොමද කියලා බලමු. ඔක අඩු වුණා 12ට. 12ක් කියන්නේ 50න් 38ක්. 38ක් බෙන් ගේ x වෙනස් වුණා. මෙතන 109ක් තිබ්බෙක 160ක් වුණා. 109 160 වෙන 51ක්. ඒ කියන්නේ 51ක් බෙන් පැල්ලහැට ආවා. 51 pixels Ben has moved down and 38 pixels to the left. 38. What the 15 tibbe? 50 to 12, there is a 38. 50 to 12, the gap is 38. Then 109 to 160, the gap is minus 51. The y minus 51. You can tell that. Hey, do like this. Not to the Ben x, Ben y. Not Ben actually, the balloon. Ben also need to move underneath of the balloon. Not to the balloon, just underneath of balloon. That you can tell rather than Ben x, Ben y. Here you can say actually this should be little less than x, which is 38 less than the original x, and the y should be 51, right? 51 less than the original y. Okay, I'm putting this here and here. Now, when Ben is touching the balloon, it's moving to the Ben should move to my mistake. Sorry, not this. When gliding, right? When gliding. This is originally x and y positions are okay. When gliding to the balloon, you should not move to the exactly to the balloon, but little less than that. Using the motion or the gliding again, I can tell within just 1 second, move to just within 1 second, just what you can say, change x. You are moving to this position, but within 1 second, the Ben need to move down. The original x position that you can take from this, no? The original x position minus 51 and the original y position minus 30, no, other way. X position minus 38, y position minus 51. Then I'm telling, okay, glide underneath of the balloon. Otherwise, like, now let's see. Okay, it's moving. In sketching, it's moving down, right? Okay. Now, when it is moving back, the same thing you have to tell. Don't move to Ben x, Ben y. Instead of that, this is all earlier x and y position. Actually, here you have to tell this is balloon, right? This balloon is moving to the Ben x, Ben y, and this should move to then x minus 38, then y minus 51. Let's see that now. Okay. Right. When I press the space, okay, when I press this, when I press the space, you can see, when I press the space, okay, good. When I press the space, right. There is a small disposition that basically I have to wait 1.1 seconds until, because there is 1 second and here 0.1, altogether 1.1 second. Now it should be okay. Okay, now it's bringing the balloon perfectly. Okay, now it's okay, right? Right, this is it. You can copy the code. So it seems easy problem, Thania, but when you're doing it actually to make it realistic, you need to work little hard. That is what you need to understand from this lesson. මේක ඇත්තටම කරද්දී හිතලා කරන්න ඕන අර ඇත්තට පෙන්වන්න රියලිස්ටික් ගතිය පෙන්වන්න. බෙන් බැලුන් එකේ නැට්ටෙන් අල්ලගෙන යනවා කියලා නේද හරියටම උන්නේ. බැලුන් එකේ වල්ගෙන් අල්ලගෙන යනවා කියලා පෙන්වන්න එපා. That you need to show realistically, right? Okay, you can copy down Ben's code. Ben ge code එක copy කරගන්න ඉක්මනට. Then I will next show the balloons code. Right. Okay. Here you can see. Right. The second one is selection. In selection, what will happen? Basically, in selection, you have to do something according to a certain condition. So there is a so here just see this example. This is just to remind you the previous things. So the first one is motion. You can just change the places. The second one is looks. So there you can just send an output sound. Then you can see after the sounds, then the events. Events are basically the actions. What will happen, right? What will happen and what you have to do. Then the next is control. There you have the control structures: sequence, selection, repetition, related control structures. And sensing is basically the inputs. You can mute your microphone. Right, sensing is inputs. Then that is basically to detect motion or detect touching something, or maybe like getting an input. All these things are under the sensing. Then operations, adding, division, subtraction, all comes here. Then variables. Variables are basically places, memory cells, memory locations which can store the change in values. Those are called variables. And then block codes, code blocks. We will learn about code blocks next week. So those are the things in, and here you have the extension. This is the interface. Okay, so you have to try. So we have already tried sequence, and this is the English medium one. If you need, you can take a screenshot. Anyway, you can get this note by contacting Miss Gavesha or Miss Lakmal. You can get this note, right? Just have a screenshot in case you need to remember something. Okay, then selection. Right, selection, here you have a nice example. It's a very easy one. If you are getting marks as input, and then if marks greater than or equal to 50, you give pass, otherwise fail. Either pass or fail. You cannot give both. They can either pass or fail. Based on that, so we can write this code. Right here, marks. If marks greater than 50 or equal to 50, pass. Else fail. If marks greater than or equal to 50, pass. Else fail. That is it. Marks greater than or equal to 50, pass. Else fail. Right? Okay, this is one thing, and you can, based on that, you can do various things. Maybe you can change the costume, right? Here, so this is basically if he pass, you can show the surprise in by jumping or changing the costume, right? So you can jump and show here ballerina. Actually, I have used ballerina, sprite ballerina. So ballerina is jumping if she pass. Otherwise, she's upset and she's moving down. She failed. Based on that, you can give an animation too. Okay, so now you can try to do this one. You can try to do this one. Please write down this question. This is to do as a homework. Please write down this quickly. And also the ballerinas one, those who have finished writing can quickly do the ballerinas one. You can get the sprite ballerina, right? Search color ballerina කියන එක්කෙනාව ගන්න. මේ තියෙන BALLERINA ballerina. යාව අරගෙන මේක කරලා බලන්න. Just do this and see. And others, please write down this with the criteria. This is the homework. Quickly do this. I will check your screen after that. One has sent me that one that she did. I think this is by Sayundi, right? Sayundi. Are you there in the class, Sayundi? No, I think she was there in single medium class. Has done that, right? Okay. Calculate the average. If it is average greater than 59, okay. This is not by you, right? Okay, this you can do as a homework, the last one. The criteria is already given. And I need to tell one thing about the variables before we wind up, right? Variable is a change in memory location, and there are some features that you need to consider when writing a variable, right? So these are the considerations. In variables, you have to use a meaningful name. Rather than using A, B, C, D, just try to use a meaningful name. And spaces between these variable names. Spaces between variable names. Right? Spaces are not basically here in the stretch. You can here in stretch you can add the spaces, but normally not in other languages. Therefore, variable spaces between the variables not supported. You cannot add variable spacing. Right? So then normally, right? But in stretch, වල පුළුවන්. හැබැයි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි spaces දාන්නේ නෑ variable, right? Special symbols are not used. විශේෂ සංකේත එකතු කිරීම අඩු කිරීම වගේ ඒවා variable නම් වලට use කරන්නේ නෑ. And we are not we can start with a capital or simple letter, and we are not using special keywords also. Keywords කියන්නේ මේ stretch වල පාවිච්චි වෙන වචන එහෙම තියෙන ඒවා use කරන්නේ නෑ. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මේ තියෙන pick, note, and, join, letter, length, contains, variable, sense, in, control. මේ වගේ වචන සාමාන්‍යයෙන් use කරන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද ඒක confuse වෙනවා. Right. Therefore, we have to consider using these things. Those keywords are not used. These are the basics. Next day, I will check the homework, and please complete that and come. Okay, I'll stop for today then. Good night. See you all next week.
Good night, sir. Thank you.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right.